Hello, guys. If you missed on Monday, we're going to go ahead and do this assignment. This is going to be the assignment that you're going to be taking home. Now, I'm just going to put on Google Classroom Viewer absence. Just go ahead and do this one. Now, if you do the one from class, it's going to be slightly different, so the video might not help you as much. I'm going to post two videos. I did one beforehand and one I'm going to do it right now just for this one in particular. So let's go ahead and start. So we're going to be dividing complex numbers. Now, whenever you divide complex numbers, there's no division into it. It's literally just multiplying the whole thing together and simplifying. So that's what we're going to be doing here. We're going to start with 9i over negative 4 plus 2i. What we're going to do here is pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and we're going to be multiplying by the conjugate. Okay, we're going to be multiplying by the conjugate. A lot of people don't know what the conjugate is. Conjugate is going to be the opposite, but not necessarily the opposite of everything. It's going to be just the opposite of your imaginary number. So for example, right now we have negative 4 plus 2i. The conjugate is going to be negative 4. So the real number stays the same. The only thing that's going to change is the imaginary number. So we're just going to go ahead and change the sign. So it's going to be negative 2i. That is what's going to happen here. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to multiply top and bottom by negative 4 minus 2i. Okay, that's the first thing that we're going to do. What I do to the bottom, I go ahead and do to the top. So that was same thing, minus 2i. Okay, perfect. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and, let me pick this one. I like how the writing shows up on that one. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start multiplying things together. So for example, I'm going to put parentheses here. Here, we're going to start multiplying things together. For example, I'm going to multiply this 9 first with this negative 4i. Now that's going to give me, I believe, is going to give me negative 30. Okay, let me put it on the bottom. Sorry. Let me put it on the bottom because I'm going to separate my work. So I want to show the difference. I'm going to put it on the bottom. I'm going to do the top part. So it's going to be negative 36i. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. But now we're going to be multiplying this 9. But now with the negative 2. Now 9 times negative 2 is going to be negative 18i squared. Okay, pretty easy. The process that we're going to do now is that we're just going to go ahead and simplify a couple things. Whenever you have I squared, I want you guys to do the following. So you're going to cancel out the I squared. And whatever number's in front of it, so in this case it's negative 18, you're going to change the sign of it. So in this case it's going to be positive 18. And then you just bring everything else down. So it's negative 36i plus 18. But remember, whenever you write your complex numbers, you usually like to put your real number first, and then I'm going to put my imaginary number second. There we go. That's what's going to go on the top. Now let's go ahead and simplify the bottom. The bottom is going to go ahead and distribute the whole thing just like we did on the top, but now we're going to do it on the bottom. So I'm going to just kind of explain. So I'm going to grab this negative 4, and it's going to multiply with this negative 4. That's positive 16. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the following, negative 4. But now I'm going to multiply by the negative 2. So in this case, it's going to be positive 8i. We're going to do the same thing, but now we do it to the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead, or with the 2i. 2i times negative 4i. It's going to be negative 8i. And finally, we're just going to do the very last one. Let me see if I can pick a different color than I did before. Let me see. I did green already, so let's do kind of orangey. Done. Okay, so we're going to do right here, the 2, but I'm going to, let's kind of brown, times that one. So 2 times negative 2 is negative 4i squared. Okay, that was the hardest part in the entire problem. Now all we have to do is start simplifying things. So I know that 8 and the 8 are going to cancel out. Now, again, if you remember what I told you guys earlier, I squared is going to be erased, and it's going to turn into a positive 4. So technically, I just need to worry about what's 16 plus 4, which is, in this case, is 20. That is it. We are 100% done with this one. So I'm going to go ahead and write my problem. So in this case, it's going to be 18 minus 36 I over 20. Now, I'm pretty sure I can divide everything by 2, so I'm going to divide everything by 2. Now, in this assignment, as long as you can do this, I'm okay with that. For the main reason is that I'm looking if you guys can do this step and this step. If you guys can do both of those steps, then you should be good. Now, if you cannot, then that's whenever we have an issue. Now, simplifying things, for this one, I don't care if you guys don't simplify, okay? So this is just going to be 9. What is, that would be, what would that be? 18, right? I over 10. Okay, so that's going to be my final answer. I divided everything by 2. Okay, that would be it. But you don't have to simplify for this one. All right, let's go ahead and do another one. Now, I don't want the video to be super long, so let's do this one a little faster and then do one of the really hard ones. The same thing, we're going to start with the conjugate. So the conjugate is going to tell you that you're going to have to multiply by, I don't even know what I'm saying. We're going to have to multiply by the conjugate. So we already know the 9 is going to stay the same, but it's going to turn into a positive 8. Okay, now on top, same thing. Negative 9 plus 8i. Okay, so we just distribute. So same thing that we did before. So I'm not going to do color coordinated. So it's going to be I times negative 9. So that's negative 9i. I times 8 is going to be positive 8i squared. Now we scratch that one now, and that becomes negative 8 and negative 9i. So it's negative 8 minus 9i. That's whatever's going to go on the top. Now let's do the bottom part. Now there's a tiny little trick that you can do. Now this is only works if you do the bottom part, okay? Whenever you're dividing complex numbers, you can do this. And this is a little bit of shortcut. It's not saving a lot of time, just one operation. So all I'm going to do, I'm just going to multiply 9 times 9, and then I'm going to multiply 8 times 8. So let's go ahead and start with 9. Now 9 times 9 is going to be positive 81. Now 8 times 8 is going to be 64. But in this case, negative 64. I squared. The reason why I can do this is because every time that we're doing multiplying the bottom part, my 2 middle ones are always going to cancel out. The reason is because that's the reason why we do the conjugate. It's going to eliminate any i's that we need. So now all I have to worry about is changing this guy. Let me see. So we're going to go ahead. Is it raining? I don't know. It sounded like it was raining. So sorry, I get distracted a lot. So that one's going to turn into, we don't care. That one's cancels out. Turns into positive 64. Now 81 plus 64 is going to give me 145. Okay, that's what's going to go on the bottom. So for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite my answer. So it's going to be equals negative 8 minus 9i over 145. And that is it. That is it for that one. So those are going to be 2 of the easy problems here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start showing how to do this one. I'm just going to do 11, kind of let you guys kind of struggle a little bit. We're going to have to start with the conjugate. The conjugate is going to say that I just need to do the same thing, but I just changed my imaginary number. So it's going to be 6 minus 9i, 6 minus 9i, and we just distribute. Now on the top, I'm going to have to do the FOIL. But on the bottom, we're going to do the little shortcut that we just learned. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply 6 by 6, which is 36. And then we're going to do 9 times 9, which is negative 81. I squared. That's going to turn into positive 81 plus 36. Let's see what that is. So 36 plus 81. 117. Okay, that's what's going to go on the bottom. Let's go ahead and do the FOIL on top. So it's going to be 6 times 6 is negative 36. Then 6 times 9 is positive, what, 54? I, and now it's going to be 2i times 6, which is negative 12i. And then finally, it's going to need negative 2 times negative 9, which is positive 18i squared. We have everything already set up, so we just have to simplify. Let's go ahead and start with the 18. So 18 is going to turn into a negative 18, right? That eliminates the I squared. So now I have to add up my negatives. So it's going to be 36 plus 18. But it's going to be negative. So it's negative 54. Now I'm going to be adding, or in this case subtracting because they're different signs. 54 minus 12 is 42. So plus 42i. That is going to be my answer here. So I'm just going to go ahead and write it. So negative 54 plus 42i over 117. And that is it. That is my answer. I'm going to leave it like that. Technically, I might be able to simplify. But like I said, I don't want you guys to worry so much about simplifying. Just knowing how to do your steps for this one. Okay, so that is it. Thank you guys just for watching. And I'm going to be posting this on Google Classroom so you guys can go ahead and do all the problems. So technically, I want you guys to do number 5, 7, 9, 13, 15, 17, and 19. Okay. You don't have to do the ones on the right. So no. You don't have to do those. All right. So thank you guys for watching. Yeah, that wasn't too long. It's just 12 minutes. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. So I'll see you guys next time.